Look at this, friends. And this is why you need to know the entire book. The entire book, not some of the book, not your favorite verses, none of that mess, none of that craziness, the pet verses you love to quote. No, 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 no. You need to know the entire book. When's the last time you read Song of Solomon? Have you ever read it? When's the last time you read Ecclesiastes? Do you know Obadiah is a prophet in the book? What about Zephaniah? Have you read it? Have you read it? Why not? Oh, you think Esther is just a story? You think Ruth is just some story God is telling? You think Nehemiah and Ezra, it's just some stories God is telling? In that First Kings, Second Kings, First Chronicles, Second Chronicles, those are just historical books of Israel, for God to record it and show you about Israel? Seriously. Now, watch this. So God is going and he says, hey, look, that first world that I created in Genesis 1 and 2, I saw a new heaven and a new earth. Why? Because the first one, the first heaven, the first earth done what? It passed away. God destroyed it. Go to 2 Peter chapter 2. He tells you all about chapter 3. He tells you all about how he did it. Also, there was no more sea. Then the sea is a curse, friend. It's no more curse, is what he's talking about. Then I, John, saw the holy city, heaven, okay, coming down out of heaven from God. You say, how can heaven come out of heaven? Jesus said, I'm going to make a place for you. And I heard a loud voice, behold, the tabernacle of God is with men. Today, the tabernacle of God is not with men. The tabernacle of God has never been with men. But when God creates the new heaven and the new earth, the very tabernacle of God will be with men for the first time. Do you understand what God is saying? Jesus says, I'm not of this world. This one. That's why no one has ever seen God's shape or heard his voice. Why? Because he's not here. Where is he? He's waiting in the new one for you. But the tabernacle, what is that? That's Christ, friend, in all of his glory. For the first time, God is going to allow all of his glory to be seen. He told Moses, if I showed up like that, everything would die. Everything would instantly disintegrate. He shows up here and nothing disintegrates. Why? Because everything is matching his glory. Everything there. Now keep reading. Is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people. God himself will be with them and be their God. And God will wipe away every tear from their eyes. There shall be no more what? Now listen. Pay close attention to what's being said. You know what most people read when they see this verse? And this is why I warned you about doing this mess right here, where you take your opinion and your thought and you push it down on the scriptures. Okay, so what is this? This is opinions and feelings and thoughts, and they push it down on the scriptures. Don't do that. And I guarantee you, when you read this verse, most people, that's exactly what they're going to do. But God has a single agenda in the book. So the weight of the scriptures now should weigh down on this verse. What verse? This is verse 4. So this is verse 4. And let's see if we can allow the scriptures to weigh down on verse 4 and tell us what this verse is actually talking about. Okay, you ready? Let's do it. And God will wipe away every tear. Can I ask you a question? Where does tears come from? You think tears were there in heaven when God first made it? Do you think people were weeping in Genesis 1 and Genesis 2? Go find that. No, friend. That was perfect unity, perfect holiness in Genesis 1 and Genesis 2. There were no tears. What brought out the tears? So what is God talking about? If he's going to get rid of tears, what is God going to get rid of first? What's the problem? Sin. All right. There shall be no more what? Death. Wait a minute. Is there death in Genesis 1 and Genesis 2? No. So where did death come from? God told us in Genesis 2, the day you eat of it, you shall what? Die. So where did that come from? The soul that what? Sin. It shall die. The wages of sin brings that. So what is God really talking about? What do he have to get rid of to get rid of death? Get rid of sin, friends. Get rid of sin. There'll be no more sorrow. What causes sorrow? Sin causes sorrow. What causes crying? Sin causes crying. What causes pain? Sin caused pain. Adam and Eve were naked and had no clue. They had no pain. For the former things have what? Been destroyed. How? How did tears get destroyed? How did death get destroyed? How did sorrow and crying and pain, how did that get destroyed? God says in Hebrews and in Colossians, he took it and he nailed it to the cross. What did God destroy at the cross, friends? Christ died for sins. Whose sins? Your sin. My sin. He had none. So what is God talking about in this verse? You think he's talking about some literal tears? Get out of here. Tears have a source. You think he's talking about death, just death? No. It has a source. Sorrow has a source. Crying has a source. Pain has a source. What does the Bible say? It's the source of all those things. Sin. So what is God saying in this verse? You see, that's what this ministry is all about. It's not about going on here and being happy because your tears are going away. If God came here today and wiped my tears away, the very second his finger moves across to move that first tear, you know what's going to happen? There's going to be a river of more tears coming down. Why? Because I haven't stopped sinning yet. Wiping the tear away does no good, friend. You got to deal with the problem, the source of all these things. Therefore, I make all things new. Write these words to the faith and true. It's done. I'm Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give fountain of water of life, the water of life. God has given life away to him who thirsts. He who overcomes will inherit all things. I will be his God, and he will be my son. Why? He will be my son. Why? Because you were created directly by God. That's the only way you become a son. Now, watch this. But the cowardly, the unbelieving, abominable, murderers, sexual immoral, sorcerers, idolaters, and all liars shall have their part in the lake which burns with fire, brimstone. That's the second death. Do you see that? All of those people get cast away. Now, he's going to say something here. Talking about the city, the New Jerusalem. He gives all of that, right? And then he goes here and he's talking about this temple and how the kings of the earth, this is in the new world, how they're going to come into it and all this stuff. Now watch this. Watch what he says. The city had no need of the sun or of the moon. So in the New Jerusalem, which is 1,500 miles by 1,500 miles, there'll be no sun. For the glory of God illuminated it. The Lamb is its light. The nations of those who are saved. The nations of those who are saved. So there are going to be some nations that come from the first world that is saved and present in the new world. Is every nation is going to make it? No. God tells you in the book, in the Old Testament, in the prophets, what nations are going to be saved. So you don't have to guess at what nations are going to be there. God tells you what nations are going to be there. Those who are saved shall walk in its light, and the kings of the earth bring their glory and honor into it. Its gates shall not be shut at all by day. There shall be no night there. So again, if you like to sleep, and you're a believer, get it all in now, because you won't be sleeping when you get to heaven. And they shall bring the glory and honor of the nations. Now watch. This is where I want to go. We're talking about sin. And sin comes from sinners. Listen to God very carefully. But there shall by no means whatsoever. So the very possibility that this can happen, God has removed the possibility. Not the fact that he removed it. He removed even the minutest possibility that this could ever take place again. That's where we're going, friends. Listen to God. But there shall by no means, will there ever be a devil again? No. Will there ever be any kind of temptation for the believer? No. Not even the possibility that it can happen. No means enter it. What? The New Jerusalem, the new world. Anything that defiles. Anything. Or cause it an abomination or a lie. But only those who are written in the Lamb's Book of Life. See, friend, that's where we're headed. That's what you and I both need to understand. And if you understand that, if you can see exactly what God is doing, that's the plan. That's why there are sufferings in this world. So you please, if you can get God's plan, if you can understand that, friend, you're going to find yourself with comfort and joy and peace that cannot be shaken.